Hello my Stampin' friends, welcome back to Tammy Dawn Creates. Today we're going to make this beautiful card. I have so many inking tricks to show you today. Look how lovely this is. We're going to feature a lot of products. Let's go through those. Today we're going to be using the Round We Go bundle, and this stamp set is so fun. It's really great for any special occasion, birthday, celebration. You have these two stamps. These are the coordinating dies that will cut them out once stamped. But what we're going to do today, we're going to focus more on using the dies and cardstock. We'll be using the large pinwheel, the small pinwheel, and then the small button. We also, today in our card, we're featuring the Spotlight on Nature dies. All about circles, the beautiful cutouts. You have stitching, you have dashes, you have florals. These are a must-have. Really, really fun. Also, I'm going to incorporate the Eyelet 3D embossing folder with an inking technique that you're going to love. We are going to be featuring the Full of Life designer series paper, and we're going to be heading towards the Berry Burst color instead of this Azure Afternoon, which I love. So using Full of Life designer series paper, look at this. It's a 6x6 pack. One side is graphic designs. The other is more of a watercolor. Beautiful. You can see in our layout today, we will be featuring Berry Burst. These are all of the dimensions for our card today. We'll be using one full sheet of cardstock Berry Burst. Here's the card base, which will be 8.5, cut at 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And to make this little front down cut, it's at 3 inches. But we're going to be using one sheet of the Starburst pattern, which is the Full of Life designer series paper. One scrap for the pinwheel. Berry Burst, we're going to be doing an inking technique with the 3D embossing eyelet folder. This is the other piece from our full piece of cardstock. We'll be using an 8.5 by 11 Berry Burst cardstock today. This 4x4 I have noted is going to be for the large circle scored die for the front. These two pieces are for the inside of the card. These two pieces are going to be for the front of the card. I've also laid out, separated the dies that we're going to be using for today's card. The first thing we're going to do is our ink embossing. And I'm going to show you how to get this design by using your embossing folder with ink. You have to determine which side is negative and which side is positive. The flat side will be the positive, which will pop up. The side that sticks up will give you a negative print, like this. So we're going to ink this side up, which is behind the Stampin' Up! Logo. We're going in with Berry Burst. You'll want some scrap paper underneath you. If it completely covers like this, you know you're on the right side. You're going to want to take your piece of paper, and you can see the black line right there. I'm going to turn this like this towards me. So I'm going to lay it on the black line and equally spaced on the sides, and I'm going to run it through. What you'll want to use is the plate number 1, Put your embossing folder in, seam first. And plate number 4. Now let's see what it looks like. Flip it over. Oh, look at that. It's gorgeous, gorgeous. Let that dry. Now we're going to do one on the other side for the smaller floral front nature die, and you'll see the difference in what gets highlighted here. Just lay your piece down in the middle, and I'm going to run that through. There it is. Absolutely beautiful. Using the largest and the second largest die, we're going to put it down on the berry burst and also the pattern that we just made and cut these 2 out for the front. Here's a die cutting tip I think everybody will enjoy. The plates get all marked up. They also get color from the cardstock embedded into them. No matter how much we scrub them off, wipe them off, that color is still there. So what I do, I reserve one side for my white cardstock. And we're going to use this and cut it out for the inside. This is our card base in berry burst, 8.5, cut at 5.5, and normally we score at 4.25, but I'm going to show you how to make this cut and score at the same time. We want to take it down and cut it to the tick mark where it's 3. Raise it up, move your cutting blade, take your scoring blade and run it down and make your score. So you have it cut and then scored in the center of your card. I'm going to take your cardstock, rotate it back at 3, take your cutting blade, right back up to the score line. Just like that. Next, I want to show you how to cut the designer series paper. We already have our basic white mat, which will go on the bottom, front. And I want to highlight all of these colors that match. Cut is going to be 2.25 by 4. Now using the back of our designer series paper, we're going to flip it over and we need 2 pinwheels that will match closely to our berry burst. So I'll just lay them down and I'll cut these out. Now that we have everything cut out, we have our 2 largest circle dies, the second largest, and then our paper that we created with the embossing folder. We also needed 4 of the large pinwheels. We have 3 berry burst cardstock, 1 DSP. We have 3 of the small pinwheels, 1 cardstock, 1 white, 1 DSP, 1 white, which we cut in basic white out of this die, and then we just needed 2 buttons, 1 cardstock, 1 DSP. And the DSP was the same paper, just cut out of the back. Now we're getting ready to do some stamping, and the assembly, my friends, will be very fast. I'm excited. For our sentiments today, I have chosen Time to Celebrate, Hip Hip Hooray, and then some sparkle for the inside. All of our stamping today will be done with Berry Burst. It's really pretty. I suggest everybody get Berry Burst. Take the white die cut image. You want to stamp this in the upper portion of the card, leaving room for the sparkle. There you go. Take our sparkle, stamp it off. You want to go right on the top. Now with the stamp full strength, Time to Celebrate, line it up. Let's start assembling. We will adhere this to the back panel and this to the front. Using your multi-purpose liquid glue, you want to adhere this down. Be mindful of where the flap goes. It's going to be an upper. Center it from side to side. Make sure your greeting is straight. Next, we're going to add our front layering circle. So we want to line this up. This is what I do, my friends. Take a little Post-it note, stick it, flip it over. You're going to mark how far you glue. Flip it over. Glue this bottom part. Carefully line it up. That's simple. And we're going to add this beautiful layer. Now I'm going to show you how all these pinwheels layer together. First, we'll start with our sentiment. One large pinwheel DSP, one large pinwheel cardstock. The next one will be one large pinwheel cardstock, one small white, and you're going to rotate it so it's alternating. And one dark with the light center. Next only has two layers, one large, one small, rotate, and the little button. Those are our three images. I'm going to liquid glue and I'll show you how we're going to pop them up. Using our Stampin' Dimensionals, we're going to pop these pinwheels up. This one's going to go off of the circle a little bit, like that. Look at the contrast, it's so beautiful. This one's going to stay inside a little bit, down like that. I'm going to tilt it a little bit, have it coming off, just like that. So beautiful. I hope you enjoyed this layout and the design of this card today as much as I enjoyed making them for you. This is so unique, a different technique. I'm using the Spotlight and Nature dies. I just think they both came out so beautiful, and they are monochromatic with the same color on each card. So once again, thank you for stopping by. I will link all the products and the measurements in the description. And you can watch my YouTube video at Tammy Dawn Creates. And also you can see the products on TammyDawnCreates.com. Thank you, my Stampin' friends, and I'll see you next time.